That high butte there, that's where we're heading for.
And he would know best. This week, state paleontologist John Hoganson has been leading a crew of volunteers that have come from across the state and across the country to the Badlands of North Dakota near Marmarth. Their mission is to help with research and documenting new fossil sites and maybe, just maybe, make the next big dinosaur fossil discovery.
The trophy fossil would be a T-Rex skeleton.
But just getting to the exploration site is a mission in and of itself. The land that's being explored today belongs to the State Forest Service, so the only access is by foot across barbed wire fences, packing gear across more than a mile of mosquito-infested grasslands that's peppered with prickly pear cactus, and doing it in ever-rising summer temperatures.
The method we use here is called prospecting, where we will actually scan the surface of these outcrops of rock, looking for bones weathering out of the rock. And this is a standard practice by paleontologists on how to find, fossil sites.
However, this isn't just any rock. This formation comes from the geological period known as the Hell Creek Formation that dates back 65 to 68 million years, when western North Dakota was a huge delta teeming with life. Fossils ranging from crocodiles to lizards, turtles, and fish have all come from the Hell Creek.
Including Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops, the two famous dinosaurs.
Maybe a little foreshadowing? In the process of prospecting, oftentimes you run across bones that could be prehistoric but aren't.
These are some wannabe fossils. They're more like that petrified peat we were looking at.
Is it what it is?
And then other times, you get lucky.
I think it's a vertebra.
This is a vertebra from a dinosaur. Probably a hadrosaur or a duck-billed dinosaur of some kind.
In this particular area, small fragments of fossilized bone were scattered. Everywhere you went, there was evidence.
Nothing identifiable, but it tells us that there's something here. When you have the bones scatter like this, it tells us that there's something in the area, and that's why we continue to look and find things like this.
Prospecting for fossils really is a time-sensitive issue, not only to find the dinosaur bones, but to get to them before Mother Nature destroys them.
There's a little bit up here too, John.
With erosion taking place every day of the year, the wind, the rain, and the sun will not only help expose the fossilized bones, but it will also break them down very quickly. With the group spreading out over the washed-out flats and the steep and slippery slopes, luck today...
This is actually very small for a T-Rex.
...was definitely on our side.
It either could be a brow horn of a Triceratops, or it could be a nose horn.
The T-Rex and the Triceratops, and there was more to come. We'll get into the discoveries tomorrow. In the Badlands near Marmarth, North Dakota, Sean Sipma, KX News. For paleontologists and dinosaur enthusiasts, this week was about as good as it gets. A week-long excursion into the Badlands of North Dakota near Marmarth may have started a little slow, but by midweek the toil and effort was all paying off.
This is a vertebra from a dinosaur, probably a hadrosaur or a duck-billed dinosaur of some kind. This is a very good specimen, yes. This is pretty typical of the size dinosaur that we find out here.
Natasha Vitek traveled all the way from North Carolina and made the first significant find this day as she was scanning a crumbling clay shelf.
It was really just walking with your eyes to the ground. I mean, looking for anything that looks like bone. It's got a distinctive color, kind of a distinctive texture, looking like air bubbles ran through it.
With the bones most likely washed from a higher point, the search then moved up the slope where more bones that resembled ribs were quickly found.
What's interesting about this is that we're actually quite a ways above where the other bones were found. So they're at this particular spot, it looks like there's bones coming out at more than one level.
It was obvious this was a hot spot for fossils. The volunteers were quickly finding numerous pieces ranging from vertebrae to turtle shell fragments.
Where'd you find this one then?
I marked it down there.
Oh, okay.
Even just finding the small bones is really exciting when you realize they've been out here for 65 million years and you're finding them, that's pretty amazing.
Even more amazing when you walk over a ridge and see a horn from a Triceratops sticking out of the ground. That's exactly what state paleontologist John Hoganson did.
The Triceratops had 3 horns, obviously, and this probably was one of the nose horn of the Triceratops here. You can see the outline of it.
Weather was already taking its toll on the horn, but it was in good enough shape to recover. And so the process began, the painstakingly slow process of excavating the area around it with a tiny pick and brush, not knowing if it was just a horn or the whole fossilized Triceratops buried beneath.
Why don't you keep working at it with that little probe?
From the butte above, toe bones were being found in various sizes from a hadrosaur along with more vertebra, and from another clay hill, a prize tooth from one of the mightiest meat eaters of the dinosaurs, found laying on the ground by paleontology lab specialist Jeff Person.
Definitely from a meat-eating dinosaur, and we think it's T-Rex because there's nothing alive at this time that would have had a tooth this large. Normally these T-Rex teeth are just, they're huge.
With the exploration continuing, an excavation was taking place several miles away at a site of an ancient riverbed.
And we found, you know, scraps of a turtle shell. It looked like a big chunk, and we started cleaning it off, and it just turned into an enormous tri-naked turtle shell.
The one-diameter shell along with the lower jaw and bones from the turtle were also uncovered. Now this site is being further explored using small X-Acto knives, hand picks, and toothbrushes. Painstaking work at moving a hillside one pebble and dirt grain at a time, but the rewards of making just one find makes it all worth the work. In southwestern North Dakota near Marmarth, Sean Sipma, KX News.